Hey, what's up, baby? DJ Hi Kevin here. Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to tell you why taking notes during every single meeting is super important, and I've got some tips along the way too, so let's check it out. So today I wanted to spend a little time apparently hanging out with my cat and really talking to you about all the steps that go into me preparing for a wedding. And I gotta say, my planning process actually starts the day that I meet the couple. And what I mean by that is I take notes of every single meeting I have with every single couple I have. It seems like a lot from the start, but trust me, the number of times that I've been able to pull something from that very first initial meeting I had with the couple, already this year, I've done it half a dozen times. So yeah, let's take a step back and let's really talk about my entire planning process. Dude, I'm not gonna lie, I'm having a really hard time recording with my cat here. So something that I do to make a lot of this really easy is I have this neat little wedding form here. On this wedding form, I use this for all of my first or initial meetings. This is basically when we're meeting with the couple for the very first time to even see if they would like us as their DJ. I've been in sales before, and I do think I'm pretty good at it. One thing I always did struggle with was really just staying focused and getting the questions answered that I needed to get answered. If everybody in the world is good at one thing, it's probably talking about themselves. So that part's covered. But this is more simplifying the listening aspect of it. So as you can see, of course, there's a lot that you can fill out ahead of time, including the couple's name, the type of meeting that we're having, phone number, email address, date, and venue. I do a bunch of research on the venue ahead of time, so I have a little space for information about the venue. And then I have a little section here, which basically just goes over what types of services they're looking for from us. So generally the top 3 get clicked almost every single event, but to me it's important because sometimes they don't have their ceremony or their cocktail hour and they're just walking into reception. Of course, the additional timing of everything, and I even put if I want to give them a free cocktail hour if they were super cool. So basically this is a super easy way for me to keep track of just like at least the general services that the couple is looking for. Some other pretty standard questions I ask are like how you heard about us as a company, what your wedding is going to look like. This question can definitely be worded in a number of different ways, but sometimes I come straight out and ask it just like this. And other times I ask them, what does your wedding look like in your mind? Of course, we like to talk about music, which to me is a great way to tell the type of party that they're looking for. And then, of course, we have the ever popular anything else question, which really covers, well, you know, anything else. So that's a form for the first meeting. Again, to me, a super easy way to keep track of some of the most important items when you're speaking with a prospecting couple. All of those answers then get recorded into a Google Sheet that I have linked to it. So that way I can go back and track any meeting that I've ever had as long as I used that form, which at this point is every single meeting I have. It's just worked into my flow. Around 5 to 6 months out, I also like to reach out to the couples and have what we at SCE call a creativity meeting. This is pretty much like a no rules type of meeting. There's nothing we're specifically supposed to talk about. Hell, we don't even have to have the meeting if the couple doesn't want to. But I love offering it because it presents a number of opportunities. Number 1, build rapport with your couple. Get a chance for them to get to know you a little bit better, a chance for you to get to know them a little bit better, and for everybody to kind of just have their defenses down. I feel like in a first meeting, sometimes it can get the better of you. Everybody's trying to impress everybody. So when you get into a creativity meeting, everybody's a little more relaxed and it's actually a lot more fun. You can start to ask those questions right now that you would like to ask in a finals meeting. Things like, how's the process coming? How do we feel about it? Have you started doing X, Y, and Z? It's really just a way for you to nudge them in the right direction. Now, I don't have a form for creativity meetings, but that's because they are so free for all. So I actually just use a very simple Google Doc for this. For this, I've changed some names, dates, and information, so don't go trying to find these people, please. But this is Stephen Kirk and Caitlin Codalucci. I don't know, I made that last name up. They're getting married on July 33rd of this year, and they are at Venue Yacht Club in Cannoli, New Jersey. I made it say email@gmail.com. All right, so normally I have this top section, which is all of the notes from our initial meeting. This is so I can just quickly see what they're talking about. This is really kind of like the music that they like, the guests and everything, as well as the anything else. But as you can see, I mark off the creativity meeting and the date that it happened. So this was actually just last night that we had this creativity meeting. So I pretty much just record everything that we talk about. We talked about a bunch because I'm pretty close with this couple and we all follow each other on Instagram. And like I said, it's really just a collection of notes that I've made throughout the meeting. So I checked with them to see if it would be okay if I record video. And they said that's totally fine because they actually don't have a videographer, so we're providing an excellent service. They're not super big fans of hip hop or rap. Specifically, the bride doesn't like Lizzo or Doja Cat. To which I explained to her it's not very often that I play their stuff anyway. Steven loves country, but Caitlin hates it. So I made a note, and we actually talked a lot about that. Originally, I had a note in here to remind myself to send them country edits. So I sent them an email following up with a bunch of exciting country edits in a way that, to me, sort of bridges that we don't like country gap, which is totally fine. But I do think that country is becoming more relevant than it has in a while. So it's going to be pretty popular. The groom had a specific edit on SoundCloud that he really enjoyed. So I kind of just stuck it in here until that time arises when I could look for it. And then pretty much just like simple notes from there on out. They don't want any cheesy stuff, and they consider the YMCA quite cheesy. They know exactly what song they want for the end of the night, and that's Love Story, because they know how hype it can be, even without having any type of additional edit. The whole wedding is going to be pretty light on kids, with the youngest being around 10, and the groom was like, yo, I'm totally cool with a couple swears sneaking through as long as it's not blatant and obnoxious. What's my favorite word? And then actually this last thing at the bottom is a note for me, because I thought of something and was luckily able to write it down somewhere in a way that I'm going to change the way that I MC a little bit, or at least some of the verbiage that I use. So just a perfect example of why I love writing stuff down. So that's what a creativity meeting looks like in my eyes. Pretty much just me hanging on Zoom with the couple. To me, it's a very warm way to meet up with your couple just for like 15, 20 minutes. Talk about some of the concerns they may have. Talk about some of the things that may be exciting them for their wedding. A great question to ask is, have you guys been to any weddings lately? Have you seen anything you loved? Have you seen anything you hated? Little stuff like that. And you recording it, writing it down somewhere, taking note of it can go a really long way in the end. And all this pretty much leading up to that finals meeting where you start at the top, go all the way to the bottom and cover everything that's going to happen on that wedding day. There you go. In a matter of 2.5 hours of meeting with the couple over the course of their entire planning process, you're now friends with them. You have a great sample of everything that they think about when they think about their wedding. And you probably have some stuff that they forgot they even said to you that can really surprise them, catch them off guard, and make them remember why they booked you as their DJ. I say it all the time, but the little things are the absolute biggest things in weddings. So that's some ways that I use meetings to really help me prepare and perfect my weddings. Thanks for checking out this video. Hopefully it was informative for you and you got some nuggets from it. Other than that, I appreciate y'all being here. Thanks again. Catch you next time.